Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is a news-filled Tuesday afternoon. We'll get you all the stories, whether they be the latest in the Liquorgate scam in which Manish Sisodia has moved the Supreme Court, or whether it be the story regarding the Kashmiri Pandits protesting the killing of another one of their own by terrorists. We'll get you all that and more. Let's start off with the headlines. Sepoy Jai Kishore sacrificed his life in Galwan, but his father thrashed and arrested in Bihar. Netas rushed for photo op, promised memorial, but now the martyrs' family targeted over the same memorial. Delhi Deputy Chief Minister moves the Supreme Court, challenges his arrest and probe by CBI, hearing at 3:50 p.m. Aam Aadmi Party continues to lash out. Speaking to Republic, Sanjay Singh asks, why is the LG not being probed? Security forces gunned down 2 terrorists involved in Kashmiri Pandit Sanjay Sharma's killing in an encounter. Shocker from Iran. Hundreds of girls reportedly poisoned to stop them from going to schools. Welcome, viewers. We start off with what is upcoming, which is the case in the Supreme Court of Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, who, as you know, has been remanded to the CBI's custody until March the 4th. That is a 5-day remand. He has, however, challenged it in the Supreme Court. That is a hearing that is set to begin very, very shortly, and we'll get you all the details and all the arguments that are put forth. Meanwhile, the Aam Aadmi Party has continued taking its protest further. It wants to know why various questions posed by it remain unanswered, such as, for instance, why the Lieutenant Governor, and in this case, it asks questions of both the current Lieutenant Governor as well as the previous one with regards to the implementation and approval of this policy. It has also asked why there are other matters, there are other issues in various states that the CBI is not currently probing. Let's take a look at what some of the leaders have been saying. Let's take a look before Manish Sisodia's hearing gets underway.
कल के कोर्ट के डिसीजन को चैलेंज करने के लिए, वैसे ही इनका ये लीगल अधिकार है, उनको जाने का हक है, लेकिन आज एक सवाल पूछा जाता है मॉरल दृष्टि से भी। अरविंद केजरीवाल, याद करिए, 2013 के अंदर कहा करते थे, आरोप जब लगाते थे तो कहते थे पहले आरोप लगेगा, सिर्फ बाद में होगा, पहले इस्तीफा होना चाहिए। याद करिए, पी चिदम्बरम हो, शीला दीक्षित हो, नितिन गडकरी हो, तमाम राजनेताओं के ऊपर इन्होंने आरोप लगाए थे। लेकिन अब एक मंत्री 8 महीने से जेल में है, दूसरा मंत्री पुलिस रिमांड पर है, 2 मंत्री दिल्ली के जेल में हैं इस वक्त। और पंजाब में ऑलरेडी जिस प्रकार से भ्रष्टाचार के आरोप उनके मंत्री और एमएलए पर लग चुके हैं, आपने कार्रवाई नहीं करी है। आज तक सत्येंद्र जैन को आपने पिछले 8 महीने से हटाया नहीं है, आज भी वो मंत्री हैं। तो मेरा मानना यह है कि कहाँ गई आपकी वो नैतिकता। हम आज मांग करते हैं नैतिकता के आधार के ऊपर आपको इस्तीफा ले लेना चाहिए दोनों मंत्रियों से, चाहे वो सत्येंद्र जैन हो, चाहे वो मनीष सिसोदिया हो, क्योंकि 22 मंत्रालय मनीष सिसोदिया के पास है। क्या वो जेल से चलेंगे? क्या कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल ब्रेकडाउन नहीं है दिल्ली के अंदर? क्या सवाल ये। और सवाल ये भी है, आपके पास 60 एमएलए हैं, आपके पास एक भी
So you just heard Harish Khurana there of the BJP. His primary question is, why aren't both the jailed AAP ministers, Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, why aren't they sacked yet? That is a question that they're asking. We also have our reporters on the ground who are tracking this story very, very closely. Let's go first. I believe Madhurima is with us, joining us from the Supreme Court, where very shortly we'll hear, Madhurima, the arguments that are made by Manish Sisodia's side. They have sought an urgent hearing. Who's likely to appear? What is their line of argument going to be? How are they going to try and attempt to get Manish Sisodia out of the CBI's custody? Over to you.
Well, Ankit, the Aam Aadmi Party and specifically Mr. Manish Sisodia, the Deputy Chief Minister of the National Capital, had knocked the doors of the Supreme Court earlier today, 10:30 a.m. in the morning. And they called for an urgent listing in front of the CJI. And after that, an urgent hearing at 3:30 a.m. is about to begin, where Manish Sisodia has challenged the arrest by the Central Bureau of Investigation and the entire investigation as well. The entire modus operandi adopted by the CBI as well has been challenged by Mr. Sisodia. Now we'll have to see as to how the court is going to hear the arguments, because remember, yesterday at the Rouse Avenue Court, the court had directed the CBI, it had given the CBI 5-day custody and had ordered that, under the surveillance of a CCTV camera, the entire interrogation be conducted, because the CBI had said that Mr. Manish Sisodia was blatantly evasive while he was put forth with multiple questions on Sunday, while he was called in for interrogation for the second time. The CBI had also asserted in the court yesterday that Mr. Manish Sisodia, when put forth with numerous questions, were not only evasive, but at the same time was giving answers that in a way derailed the entire investigation, which is why there is a plot that needs to be unraveled, and a custody is imperative. And after listening to both the sides, where Sisodia's counsel said, like you were pointing out, that why is the Lieutenant Governor not being interrogated, because the tweaks that are being highlighted here by the CBI in the entire excise policy matter that were undertaken allegedly by Mr. Sisodia, that have been put forth in front of the court as one of the main reasons for nabbing Sisodia, have been okayed by the Lieutenant Governor, Ankit. So that is the main point of contention that will be once again put forth in front of the CBI. We'll have to wait CJI. We'll have to wait and watch as to what really happens in next couple of minutes.
Absolutely. Madhurima, summing up what exactly we can expect in the Supreme Court, we also have Piyush Mishra, who is joining us. He's on the move right now. Piyush, the Aam Aadmi Party has not protested in quite the same way as it did yesterday, isn't it? Is it really looking forward to this hearing to give it some relief? Does it not want to take up the matter in front of the public's eye, for instance? Tell us more.
Well, Ankit, yesterday what we heard is that a late night meeting was also called by Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, to have their strategy as to how to deal with the matter in coming few days. But after they have moved to Supreme Court, what we are now hearing is that they are still waiting for the court's observation as to how the court is going to look into the petition of Manish Sisodia. Remember that he has moved to Supreme Court saying that the manner in which his arrest has been made and the investigation which CBI has done, that should be re-looked. Now we'll have to see how the Supreme Court is going to look into the demands of Manish Sisodia. Yesterday, when the hearing was going on in Rouse Avenue Court, at that time, Manish Sisodia came out and said that, I have been asked, I'm being, in fact, being pressurized to confess to the whim, according to the whims and fancies of CBI officers. To that, the CBI lawyer replied and said that we do not want your confession, we want your explanation. On that, there was no answer coming in, and that is also the demand coming in, not only from the CBI, but also we have seen the political leaders also coming out and saying that so far there is no technical explanation coming in from Aam Aadmi Party leaders as far as this liquor policy is concerned. We'll have to see what court is going to say when Manish Sisodia, the matter of Manish Sisodia is heard at 3:50. But this is an attempt by the Aam Aadmi Party to reach out to the apex court, and they are trying their best so that a relief can be given to Manish Sisodia. We also saw as to how series of protests was done by Aam Aadmi Party leaders yesterday. Today, they are very much silent. They are waiting for the court's observations. In fact, BJP on the other side, Ankit, demanding that meanwhile, Manish Sisodia and Satyendra Jain should be sacked from the ministry. They continue to hold the position of cabinet minister of Delhi government. Remember that Satyendra Jain had a good number of portfolios, and when he went to jail, all his portfolios were given to Manish Sisodia. In fact, Manish Sisodia, before going to jail, had, in fact, he still holds around 18 portfolios, which also includes the crucial home and health portfolios, which were earlier being held by Satyendra Jain. So the BJP is now coming out and saying that both the ministers should be sacked and new MLAs, in fact, new faces of Aam Aadmi Party can be inducted in the government, but that is not happening. What we are now learning from our sources, Ankit, is that Arvind Kejriwal does not want this because he is of the view that if it happens, if his ministers are sacked, if these leaders are sacked, then a wrong message would be sent out to the people that yes, they did wrong. So Aam Aadmi Party has its own narrative. On the other side, BJP continues to ask for resignation of them. Today, very important, crucial, hearing to take place in Supreme Court. We'll have to see how the court will be looking into the petition of Manish Sisodia.
Manish Sisodia has challenged his arrest by the Central Bureau of Investigation by knocking the doors of Supreme Court. Stay tuned to Republic TV. We'll be right back after a very short break, bringing you all the updates and all the latest that happens at the Supreme Court.